Welcome to the one and only Showdaximus channel. I am your host, Showdax himself, and I am very, very excited to talk to you today because we have the extra special pleasure of looking at the latest release from Batman Arkham City PlayArts Kai number 8. The Joker, and this is the new and improved version over the original Joker from the Arkham Asylum line, and let's just say he's more than a little bit awesome. More than a little bit awesome, and we're going to stick with it. So first and foremost, we're going to take a quick look at the package. Well, we're going to go through this real brief. I'm going to try and eliminate all the flim-fam and flim-flam and fiddle-faddle and all that BS and just hit you with some hard facts on this one, okay? So bear with me and let's just take a quick look at the package. So as you can see, it's pretty standard fare for PlayArts Kai. I'll bring it in close here so you can see. As it states there, it's the number 8, the Joker. A nice picture of the figure itself on the exterior of the package, as is fairly standard for PlayArts, at least in this line. And we have the top there with a little bit of a warning, the Batman Arkham City there, and the PlayArts Kai. On this side, more of the same, your standard back, and there with the white. And on the back of the figure we have another product shot, or actually quite a few, and they all look really cool. I'm just gonna show you those there. Pull this camera up a little bit and slide it in. But yeah, it looks really cool. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures of the Joker, and then one of number 7 Batman, which is the 1970s batsuit skin, which I had showed you previously, just a few videos ago. And then we have the warning label down there. So pretty straightforward stuff. Nothing too spectacular or incredible with that, at least. But then, as is usual, open up the package itself, and we have the figure itself in there. So, as you can see, we have the alt head, 3 alternate hands for the figure, and I will be discussing those at length. Maybe one of my few and very few, if not the only issue with the figure. And then we have a gun and a knife as well. So it comes with a pretty good amount of stuff, more than the Bat figure, but he's a smaller figure, so it's understandable that they would differentiate the two. And then if anyone wants to take note and pause there, or read my description, usually I have the write-ups in the description. So there you go. And then another quick product shot of the Joker. You know, really nice package, but nothing too spectacular, nothing different than what you haven't seen before in the first 7 releases. So I'm going to see if I can get this back in frame because it's a little big. So what I'll do is I'll set that down. I'm going to pause the camera for just a few moments, take the figure out of the package, and then we'll get to the figure itself and go through a quick rundown of all the little goodies, treats, and specials that are involved with that guy right there. Let me tell you something. It's awesome, man. It is definitely thumbs up worthy, if not 2 thumbs up. If I had more thumbs, I would throw them all out there because I'm really impressed, and I want to tell you why. So I'll be right back. Just bear with me. Thank you. And we are back. So, thanks for waiting. I know it was an incredibly long time, so I appreciate the patience. But, as you can see, here he is, and he looks awesome. The sculpt, the paintwork, everything about this figure just really screams awesomeness, and every sense of the word. So, really an incredible figure. Absolutely love what they did with this guy. Unfortunately, I don't have the first one to show for a comparison, but hopefully the details in the video and everything that we can go through will give you an idea. So the first thing I wanted to do is I pulled him straight out of package. I didn't really alter him too much because I wanted to see one of you know, the issues here that's key when you take him out of the package. So you'll notice that he has an unusual stance in here. So when you pull back these flaps, he's got a weird cut to his legs. So you can kind of see it's got the calves here, and the knees somewhat go inward and then bow out. But it looks good from the front. It looks absolutely amazing. It's really not an issue from 3/4 or even from the side. It looks somewhat unusual, but really it's designed to be bent. And what's really cool is if you bend it here, even at both points, let's see if we can get the other part to bend. You can see that the sculpt and the line work is taken into the kneecap area as well. So it's a really good job on their part, and that's a pretty good bend. You don't really need it bent that much. I usually have it bent, you know, just once or twice there at the knee or at the upper part, and not at the lower part. So there you go. I just wanted to show that. And same here, you can see that this knee has a patch. The patch is sculpted and painted as well on the centerpiece of the knee. So all in all, excellent work. It covers up the joints well. It really makes it, you know, when posing him and standing him up, really makes him look awesome and really makes it look fluid, like there's no cuts in the figure. There's very few seam cuts. At least it has the appearance of being unobtrusive, I guess would be the best word. So you really can't notice the difference there. Comes standard with the 2 stock hands, which are the fist, and the standard smiling head sculpt with without the green goo blood, I guess is what it's maybe supposed to emulate. I'm not exactly sure, but anyways, and without the teeth showing through. His eyes are also open, and the other one, the eyes are squinted. So I'll go through the accessories right now. I'll bring them into the picture so you can see what I'm talking about side by side. And this is the secondary head sculpt, and I'll bring this in nice and close so we can see the difference between the two, as you can see there. So quite a bit of difference. I actually prefer this head sculpt over that one, and we'll swap them out here fairly quickly, but I'll just put that in the back. And then we have this hand. This hand is, oops, sorry about that, made for his right hand right here, and this is best for the gun, as you will see. We'll grab the gun here and slide it in, and as you can see, it's a perfect fit. The finger doesn't curl around and go in to the trigger area, but it does look good. It looks just fine. Really good, solid, you know, grip. It's not going to fall out while posing or anything like that. And it also works well with the knife included. So this hand, you just slide it in there, and I can't say how much I like this knife. This knife is just really cool. As you can see, it's got some cuts, jagged edges there. Really looks cool. I especially like the fatter handle on it. Makes it perfect for gripping, and then it's also curved to go with the fingers there too. So awesome. And this is actually the hand that I use for the knife itself. But I'll take it out real quick as we go through the next one. Let's see, what hand do I want to discuss next? I believe it's this one. Now this hand is a little unusual. It's made for the knife as well, and it holds it really well, so it's not going to fall out on you. It's kind of more of a flamboyant pose with the knife. The problem that I have here with that is that it's also on the left hand. So we have 2 different left hands, as you can see, both of which are made to hold for this one the gun or knife. For this one, the knife specifically, I tried to see if it could hold the gun, and it doesn't really. You could, probably, tilt it up and kind of have him hold the gun like this in the left hand if you so choose. But the issue being is that this hand is his right hand. It'll go right over there, and this is actually the hand that I use when I do pose him. And this hand does not hold either of the weapons either. As you can see, it can't grip the knife. There's no way to grip the gun. Well, I take that back. You can sort of grip the gun, but it looks really strange, and it's really light. So unfortunately, light meaning that it's not in there strong enough to hold it up. You can sort of fake it, but you know, it just falls out immediately. What I do like to do is I take this and kind of have his hand like that, holding it in this motion, and that's what I'll show off now. So I'll go back to this hand here, or I'm sorry, I take that back. I'm going to go back to the gun hand here and get the knife in, and we're going to take out the right hand. Oops, I'm just all fingers dropping all those things. Take the left hand, take that out, and then we'll put in that. So now we got the two hands. We're going to take off the head. We're going to decapitate the Joker, something that Batman himself would never do, although he's been tempted a couple times, I'm sure. Probably more than a couple, probably dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds of times. But anyways, there. So we'll set these off to the side. I do like the fist hands. They're really well done. I guess we'll show one of them up close as well so you can see what we're talking about. Just the sculpt work, the paint work, really, really incredible. The lines, everything here I wanted to mention is not painted on. So for example, the lines in the jacket and the shirt, pants, they're all sculpted in, then painted. So it's not just painted on lines. Really adds some depth, really allows for some really cool shadows and shading. And obviously that's what we've come to expect with PlayArts, guys. So there's nothing new there, nothing too incredible. And then so I just want to show you a little pose that I've been toying around with. It's been my favorite at the moment. And so I kind of have him go like that. And is this the hand that I've been using? Yep. And then I've sort of had him hold up the hand like that in this kind of pose here. Let's see. As he's sort of pointing off to the camera. Let's see. Oh no! Oh no! And that's the unfortunate thing about this figure, and probably my only gripe and my only complaint here is again with the issue that the right hand does not have the ability to hold the knife. I'm sorry, the left hand, that hand over there, does not have the ability to hold a knife or the gun. The only way you can pull this off is by having the knife in the right hand and in the left hand having the gun sort of dangling there. So it's the only way to get him holding both of them. Unfortunately, it would be nice to have the gun held regularly. It would give you a little bit more options rather than having to choose between the two. But that's a very, very, very minor gripe. Overall, this figure is top-notch, and as I mentioned before, the colors, the vibrant paint work, the sculpt, the detail, the fact that this chain is molded in and then painted and it's even a little loose here at the bottom, it's just amazing. And one of the best things about this figure, something that I think this figure even beats Batman, and I sung my praises about the Batman figure. I absolutely loved what they did with that figure. But the way that they were able to execute the articulation with minimal cuts on this figure, and that's something we'll go over now. So we will go over the articulation. So he's got outward to almost 90 degrees there, forward, full rotation. We're just going to take the gun away since it'll be easier to show the posability. More than 90 degrees there at the elbow. He's got a swivel at the wrist and a pivot as well. Same for this arm. And he has a chest. Looks like it's a ball joint. It's fairly limited due to the jacket on the sculpt here. You have this piece here. You also have this piece here, so that does hinder the articulation, but you do still get rotation, and I think that's really what it's used for. So you can swivel dramatically in both directions. And then what's really cool about that, if we look here straight on at the figure, is that cut is hardly noticeable. So you can't even tell that there's a diaphragm joint there. Same with this. The shirt actually overhangs the crotch piece. This crotch piece looks like it blends perfectly into the legs. We have another ball joint there at the waist. You get quite a bit of downward crunching and quite a bit of backwards crunching as well, as you can see. So you can get some really dynamic poses, and it's really, really cool. The fact that you have the two ball joints really, really accentuates the posing on this figure. Then you have your crotch piece there with your typical fare. You got the ratcheted joint for the legs, substantial forward, substantial back. Doesn't break the sculpt again. It looks really, really, really cool. And then for the legs, we have double jointed knees, which, you know, are well over 90 degrees. And then again, they took the sculpt and the paint into the interior of the knees, so that looks really cool. There is the only other complaint, aside from the lack of the weapons usage on both hands, is the fact that the feet themselves do not have a large ankle rocker. They do have forward and downward pivot. As you can see, it's even ratcheted, but the rocker itself is fairly minimal, so getting his feet to be planted flat while getting him in dynamic poses is a little bit difficult, especially with the type of boots that he's wearing, the heel boots. But that's it. I mean, those are really my only two complaints. I wouldn't even call them complaints. I would say notes on this figure. Other than that, he really just looks amazing. Absolutely amazing as far as I'm concerned. Very happy that I was able to pick this guy up. Definitely one of my best figures in my collection as it stands right now, and I think an absolute must-have. If you're collecting this line, he's definitely the best version of the Joker thus far. And yeah, he looks really, really cool. We're going to go ahead and measure him real quick. And he comes in at just over 8.5 inches tall, and we'll bring in for comparison because this is what matters most. If you ask any Batman collector, PlayArts Kai, or DC in general, these two figures, you want to see how they match up. What's the scaling look like for the two of them? So, and as you can see, Batman does stand quite a bit taller. I wouldn't say quite a bit. I would say a hair taller. He's slightly taller, so we were at about 8.5 for the Joker. We're at about over 8.5 with Batman, almost 9 if you count the very top of the cowl there. Now, I did some research online. According to the information that I found, Joker is supposed to stand at about 6'1", weigh 192 pounds, and Batman is supposed to stand at 6'2" and weigh 210 pounds. So obviously you could tell that this Batman figure is bigger than the 210 quote there, and he's thinner than the 192 quote. But you know, that's just an average. In different lines of the comics and in the animated series and the movies, the weights and scales have varied differently. I think this is perfect. I think that they do want to be, just like they said, 6'1", 6'2", right in the same range for height. The size, you want Batman to be a big, brooding brawler. You want Joker, I think he looks best when he's lean, lanky, like a devilish-looking character, and I think that is pulled off well here. I know for me personally, I'm 6'2", just under 6'2", 215 pounds. I wish I looked like that. I mean, you'd probably need to be 235, if not 245, to put on that type of muscle mass. So he's not exactly 210, but he looks awesome. So if you're looking for an exact scale representation, it's a little off. If you're looking for awesomeness in general, it's perfect. It's spot on. Both these guys get a thumbs up for me. I want to see if there was anything else I wanted to go over. I think that's it. Like I said, I like this figure a lot. I absolutely love him. If I had to pick what was best out of the two, as far as sculpt and purely on an action figure platform, I may lean a little bit towards the Joker, just because, like I said, the sculpt work, the minimal cuts and everything that you see with him really, really is impressive, and it is something to see. He is equally impressive. His cuts are a little bit more noticeable, but it's harder to do more muscular figures than it is to do the skinnier figures. So I think it's a toss-up. I think the best thing to do is buy both of them. Boom and boom. I got this guy again at my local comic book store. It's World Best Comics and Toys, located here in Sacramento. If there is anyone watching that is in the area, they are located on Watt Avenue. And again, I'm not getting anything for this. Other than maybe a slap on the back and hey, thanks for doing that. They're awesome. I can't recommend them enough. So definitely the best toy store in the Sacramento area outside of the big box Toys R Us or something like that. But they definitely get my vote because Toys R Us just doesn't have all the lines that you and I and other collectors collect. So there it is. I think that's it, and I think that's all. Yeah, if I missed anything, I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments below. But at this time, I'm still starting out, and there haven't been that many comments. So maybe you won't. Who knows? But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. And please, 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 I beg you, feel free to rate, comment, or subscribe below. There's a subscribe button over there. There's a thumbs up button over there, both of which would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, as always, I promise to do better the next time. And until then, I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.